Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you're joining us from. As a matter of fact, go to the chat box right now and type where you're joining us from so that we know where the audience is today. Welcome. I'm Brett Waters. Welcome to the Fourthly Demo Day. You're about to see 3-minute pitches from 7 innovative startups from around the world. And I'm pretty excited about it. I think you'll enjoy these. So last month, I published an article on global trends for 2023. And in fact, you can go to fourthly.com right now and see it. There's a tremendous amount of opportunity right now all over the world. There are waves of opportunity like I've never seen in my career. And the 7 startups that you are about to see are representative of some of the big salient trends going on in the world today. All right, so let's move on to our amazing peeps who are joining us. Good morning, Yasmin.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. Where are you joining us from today?
I am joining from the Bay Area, but I will tell you, Brett,
Yeah.
I'm having technical difficulty right now. So I need some time to pull up my presentation.
Oh, no problem. No problem. We'll bring Daniel on, and then whenever you're ready, let us know.
Sounds good.
Okay. All right. So instead, we're going to start with Daniel. So Google processes over 1 billion health-related searches every day. Think about that. Google processes over 1 billion health-related searches every day. It's an incredible volume. And, as we all know, there's a lot of medical misinformation out there on the internet. And so DoveMed's mission is solving this particular problem. And Daniel's going to tell us about that. Daniel, take it away.
Yeah. Hi, Brett. Thanks. Hi, everyone. My name is Daniel Silika, and I'm part of the executive team of DoveMed. Now, what we've managed to achieve at DoveMed is to create an ecosystem where medical needs are met in one place. And our goal is to bridge the gap between medical consumers and medical professionals. So to illustrate what we have built, I would like to talk to you about Jenny, who unfortunately just got diagnosed with breast cancer. As for any person diagnosed with cancer, especially breast cancer, there is fear, there is confusion, and an overwhelming sense of not knowing what to do. So Jenny starts her journey with a simple Google search. Unfortunately, Google has information that is sometimes difficult to understand, that is biased from pharmaceutical companies, and on top of that, most of the times it's unreliable. So DoveMed solves this by providing reliable content that is physician approved, it's easy to understand, and it's unbiased by any external sponsors. Jenny's journey continues with trying to find the best providers for her condition. That we have solved through our application called DoveMaps, where Jenny can find highest rated doctors at the highest rated clinics or hospitals. While she searches for doctors, Jenny can also go to our Ask a Doctor platform and ask questions regarding her condition. And DoveMed has thousands of physicians that are ready to answer questions for her. These physicians are all US trained and licensed and are able to provide Jenny with the information about her condition. As Jenny navigates through her journey, she will find herself most likely alone without support. And for that, we have built a platform called My Circles, which helps her get emotional support from other patients just like her, and also healthcare professionals. From the medical professional point of view, we have created a platform that helps them build their brand and recruit new patients. And as you probably know, the competition for new patients is pretty intense. The US is a $20 trillion economy, where over $3.5 trillion are spent on healthcare. So it's a pretty huge market. And just like Jenny, there are 144 million Americans with chronic conditions that we can help. DoveMed's economic model is pretty simple and includes multiple revenue streams, such as advertisement campaigns, sponsored health content, premium profiles, and other services to help the medical professionals recruit new patients. DoveMed has raised $1.6 million from investors, and we have built all these great products, which I invite you to go and check out on dovemed.com. And now we are looking to raise $5 million that would help us enhance these products and reach out to more people. On behalf of the DoveMed team, I would like to thank you for your time, and feel free to contact us at contact@dovemed.com. That's all from me. Open for questions.
Thanks for that, Daniel. So, as I said, I think this is, we knew this before, but then the COVID-19 pandemic was kind of a forcing function that really taught us the amount of medical misinformation that's out there on the internet. And so, the basic problem you solve is kind of clear to understand. I'm curious what you think the next steps are. What's the next big step in terms of your product roadmap?
Yeah, so the path that we have taken with DevMed is to build MVP for all our products, right? So, and then enhance them based on the user feedback. Now, I think we are at the stage where most of our products are commercially viable. So the next logical thing would be to just, be focusing on marketing and take this product to another level and create a seamless experience for the users.
All right. Very nice. And is DevMed available just in the US, or is it worldwide?
Yeah, most of the products are worldwide, but some of them are specifically oriented toward the US.
Terrific. All right. Thanks, Daniel. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
Okay, let's see whether Yasmin is ready for us. Yasmin, are you ready?
I am ready.
Excellent. So, so when I first interviewed Yasmin for this program, I was incredibly impressed by her smarts and her passion. And also, I'm fond of saying that most great ventures begin with a founder who notices a problem worth solving. And as you'll see, Yasmin's venture is very much around solving a problem that she noticed herself and is passionate about solving. So, Yasmin, tell us more.
Okay, thank you, Brett. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining me here today. My name is Yasmin, and I am CEO and founder of Healthy Baby. Now, Healthy Baby was born in 2018. Pictured here is my son, Aramis, drinking our very first prototype of the plant-based infant formula. Now, we are different because we do not include soy or high fructose corn syrup, but we also stand out because we are the only company to infuse our product with 3 superfoods: spirulina, moringa, and sacha inchi. Now, as you can imagine, this is a highly valuable industry. It valued close to $4 billion in the US in 2020 and close to $35 billion globally in 2022. It is projected to continue increasing in value as time goes on. Now, I was first in the market for formula in 2018, and this is when I first discovered the low quality type of ingredients that companies were including in children's food. So it was at this time that I made a prediction that these type of low quality products are not sustainable, and there was going to be a major shift within the baby formula industry. And unfortunately, that prediction came true in 2022 by way of the historic baby formula shortage in the US, as I'm sure some of you know. However, this shortage was really interesting because it exposed a couple of things. First, there are 2 companies that have a stronghold over this billion-dollar industry in the US. And it also exposed the fact that there are definitely supply and demand issues because one company had their plant shut down, and this just pointed to the fact that there is much need for more competition and more suppliers in this space. So for that reason, there has never been a better time to scale Healthy Baby. We are quite relevant right now, but I would argue forever we are relevant because babies never go out of style. Now, this is a brief overview of our competitive landscape. To the left on the y-axis, you'll see it says milk-based. In the middle is soy-based. And at the very top, it is plant-based with no soy. So the toddler formula market is prevalent with these plant-based products, but it is lacking in the infant formula space. And we are the solution to that problem. But beyond infant formula, I want to be clear that we have created a health-conscious brand. We do this through our social media presence, for example, where you can find natural remedies, food recipes, and pictured to the left here is our second product called Better Skin Butter. My other son, Forrest, had pretty severe eczema. I was looking for something to relieve his skin, and I ended up creating the natural product myself, quite successfully, I might add. So with all this being said, we have a lot going for us. Please join us on our socials at HB and Beyond. And we are also open to funding and collaboration. So if you have any opportunities that you think align with our mission, please email me at hello@healthybabyofficial.com. Thank you again. Healthy wishes.
Very nice, Yasmin. So you mentioned that you're kind of starting with the infant formula,
Correct.
and then we also have the skin butter. And I love the idea, and I love the idea that your big vision is to kind of build a whole brand around healthy baby products. So give us an example of kind of some of the other products that maybe you might add to the brand over time.
Ooh, it's funny because I have considered so many. Thank you so much, Pani. I have considered a few. Honestly, there is a hair growth serum that I
Hmm.
have used my friends and family, on my
Mhm.
friends and family, and it's been they've had a lot of hair growth. So that's one of the ones that I've been working on and considering adding to the line. That's less for babies, but honestly, to be honest, that's just what I've been working on, and my friends really like it. So I've considered that, and also teas because I love teas, and so do my boys. So I make my own tea at home, and that's something else I've considered as well.
Yeah, nice.
Yes.
Okay, Yasmin, thank you very much. That was awesome.
Thank you.
Okay, so next up we have Hasib. So hang on, let me just add Hasib here to the screen. There he is. Hasib,
Hi, Brett. Hi, Rob.
where are you this morning or this afternoon in your case?
I'm in London. Yes, so it's not quite sunny, but yes, yeah, we're warm and dry. That's the main thing.
Yeah, but what's the weather like today in London, Hasib?
It's grey. It's overcast. It's a little foggy. Typical London this time of year.
Yeah. And Hasib, I don't see your screen. So are you not sharing
I'm going to
yet?
present. Yeah, I will present now. Let me just
Okay.
show my screen.
So one of the things that I love about the internet and the various things that the internet has given us is it's enabled everyday people to be able to make small investments, right? That, today, if you want to buy a single share of stock with Robinhood, you can buy a single share of stock. And I think it's been kind of a whole wave of democratization with regard to access to investment. And Hasib's about to tell us about his platform, which basically enables fractional investment in income producing property for as little as $500. And I think it's a great example of this general trend toward the democratization of investment opportunities. Hasib, take it away.
Thank you, Brett. Hi, everyone. I'm Hasib, the founder of Frank Invest. And as you can see, it is, in summary, financial freedom through property, starting only with $500. So what is the problem we're trying to solve? The key element is money. So it does take quite a lot of money to buy a commercial property and convert it. It's usually $1 million plus. Knowledge, you need an extensive amount of expertise to choose the property and actually manage it and run it as a business, and liquidity. So getting your money back out of the market, your properties don't usually sell overnight. So those are the key problems. Why is it worth solving? So service accommodation, it's about £20 billion a year in the UK as a business, and the US it's well over 340 billion. So it's well worth getting involved in that and providing that type of a solution, as Brett said, a democratization of wealth. So we compared ourselves to some of the key hotels from a occupancy perspective. So London and New York typically average 83 to 86%. We've started 60%, and our model works, going up to 85% through to 2026. So what are fractional shares? How do we get here? It was all about, understanding how to invest in something without having, $1 million plus. Now, my family, I've had business investments in the past, are familiar with the size of these kind of investments, but we've always had friends and family and relatives who've also wanted to invest. And so I came up with the idea of perhaps making it fractional, getting people involved through a legal entity so that the retail investors can benefit. So the solution, in effect, looks like this. It's a digital platform where the minimum investment is $500. You get a piece of a commercial property, a service accommodation property in this case, and that fractional benefit gives you rental income and profits, including profits from sales. That's a market size. You can see, it's a substantial growth from a global perspective within this sector, which reflects that quite healthily. And in summary, it is an investment platform backed by privatized, tokenized physical assets in the form of residential and commercial property. So what's unique, it's the only service accommodation investment platform available where people can start by just putting in $500. It's built on top of blockchain technology, which we can discuss further in detail. We did a poll, so we got a result about 75%, comparing it to stocks, shares, and other investments. So the combination of cryptocurrency or crypto base and commercial property gave us, a winning vote. So what's our traction? So we have a CAC of approximately $46. That's the cost to acquire a customer, and then an actual lifetime value of 6x based on an $810 3-night stay. So that gives us, it's quite a conservative estimate, in fact. So that gives us 6x. As you can see, our key personas, we have various income streams, but the main one, the bottom right, is persona 6, which is someone booking a room, and obviously income from that. But we also get income from selling shares on the marketplace itself, and people looking to lease out their property for us to manage. We have a business model, as you can see there. I don't have time to go through it right now, but that goes through the key elements in terms of net income per property, about 82.8K, and then our revenue forecast, which is pretty healthy through to 26. So our go-to-market plan looks a bit like that, and as you can see, there's growth starting in the UK and then growing to Europe and then into the US as we prove the model over the next 3 years. So far, we've I've invested, self-funded myself personally, 100K into the venture. It's been an interesting journey with the team that we can introduce you to at a later date. We've hit some really interesting milestones, and we're now looking to fund further growth, complete development, further growth. Looking to raise between 1 and 3 million. So thank you very much for your time. I look forward to speaking to you again.
Very nice, Hasib. So, Stephen asks a pretty good question, which is whether or not FrackInvest will qualify for an investment as an investment type for a 1031 tax-deferred exchange. So, Hasib, you are in the UK, so you may not know about US tax law. Do you know about a 1031 tax-deferred exchange, Hasib?
Yeah, so with property, there is a lot of those tax deferred options.
Yeah.
So we can certainly discuss that in detail. But yes, there are that and others that are associated with property investment. Yeah.
Right. I think the answer is, I'm not a tax attorney, obviously, but I think the answer is that because you are actually taking title to a slice of this property through the fractional ownership program, I believe that you get all of the tax benefits associated with your particular jurisdiction. Right.
Yeah. So we set up a company, an entity, and we own the property, and each investor gets an actual, a slice, an official registered slice of the property and share with the company.
Right. So, Nasib, you're in the London metro area, which is obviously a huge geography, a lot of service accommodations properties, certainly in the London area. And what, kind of what's your plan for what's the next geography you're going to roll out to?
So, key centers for service accommodation, it's got to be central hubs. So it's going to be London, particularly. We were looking at specific resort areas, on the South Coast, and then in Europe. So again, key centers like Paris, Madrid, Barcelona. So, just looking at Europe from that perspective. Some Eastern European cities are also quite popular, other holiday resort destinations, and then from a US perspective, obviously the main city centers or at or near main city centers and hubs, transport hubs. So New York is the first option that comes to mind, which I have some experience in, and potentially Miami, on the East Coast, further south. and maybe one, one day, in your locality in LA. But that's the initial plans.
Terrific. All right. Thanks very much, Hasib. Appreciate it. Okay, so next up we have another awesome, passionate mom, Megan. Morning, Megan.
Hey, everyone.
Hey. So before we go to Megan, I want to a couple quick announcements to the audience. So first of all, don't go anywhere because we've got some more terrific presentations coming up. Secondly, if you want more information on any of the presenters today, if you simply go to fourthly.com, and there's a banner right there on the homepage that says View Current Cohort, and you'll be able to read up more about all the various ventures who are presenting today. And also, I want to mention to the audience that we have a Fourthly podcast, which is a series of interviews with startup CEOs. And I've been very lucky to have interviewed over the past year some really, really interesting startup CEOs. And so if that's of interest to you, you can go to Spotify or Google Podcasts or Apple Podcasts or wherever it is you get your podcasts. Just search for Fourthly, and it will show up. All right, Megan, that does it for the commercial announcements. Now, tell us about Cozy Sleep.
All right. Thanks for having me today and for the introduction, Brett. My name is Megan Neff. I'd like to introduce you to a new startup, which is focused on helping children sleep better. So if you ask any new parent how they are doing, the first thing you will likely hear about is their lack of sleep. I know everyone here has suffered from a sleepless night at one point in their life, but did you know that up to 50% of children will suffer from a sleep issue? Of that 50%, as many as 30% of children will experience night terrors. I've suffered through this with my own daughter, who's pictured here during her sleep study. Don't worry, she did great. In addition to night terrors, we also discovered that she suffers from alpha-delta sleep disorder. When a child has a sleep disorder, this is even more detrimental to the parent's well-being, and especially their mental health. If you've ever experienced sleep deprivation as a parent, and I mean really experienced it, it's truly a scary thing. So I have this theory, and I believe that alpha-delta sleep disorder is directly tied to night terrors, and I'm hoping that I can eventually prove this theory. So by creating a product that provides haptic feedback from a parent to a child, it should allow the breath and heart rate of the child who is sleeping in another room to be in rhythm with their parents. So I'd like to introduce you to Cozy Sleep. I'm looking to develop a new sleep technology that will help children with night terrors avoid having an episode altogether and allow them to sleep more soundly throughout the night. The development of this new device will be specifically targeted for children who suffer from night terrors. In addition, though, I do believe it will help colicky and restless babies sleep better as well. So as I mentioned earlier, co-sleeping can produce coordinating vitals, specifically respiration and heart rhythm. For children with a sleep disorder, I believe this helps to keep them from slipping into a night terror episode. Although co-sleeping is an incredibly effective option, and I know this firsthand, in helping remediate night terrors, for us, it completely stopped them. The American Academy of Pediatrics does not recommend co-sleeping under any circumstances. So the plan with this device is that it will allow parents to have the benefits of co-sleeping without those associated risks. All right. Sorry. Let's see. I just got lost where I was. Okay, so competitive landscaping. Outside of co-sleeping, there are currently no other products on the market that specifically address night terrors. There was a product previously available that helped with scheduled awakenings to help the child from slipping into a night terror episode, but it's no longer available on the market. And although many options exist for helping a child sleep, I believe a better product can be created. This product would be based on science and evolutionary biology, and this would produce significantly better and more restful sleep for babies and children alike. Again, my name is Megan Neff, and I want to thank you for your time today. The Cozy Sleep product is in the very early stages of initial development, but I'd love to connect with any experts or partners that are interested in remediating night terrors. In doing so, we can provide babies and children with more restful and sound sleep. Thank you so much.
Megan, that was awesome. And as a parent myself, I've been through many sleepless nights with little ones,
Yes.
and one of the things I've learned in working with you and researching the space is that a much higher percentage of babies have actual sleep disorder issues than I realized.
Yeah,
And it's something like as much as a third, right? Something like that.
it is. It's pretty
Yeah.
significant.
Yeah. And we've all in the middle of the night, just pulled our kid into bed with us because it was the way to shut him up.
Yes.
But right. But there's all kinds of reasons why pediatricians do not recommend that you pull your kid into bed with you. And so the more I've learned about the Cozy Sleep venture and your particular journey with it, the more fascinated I've become. What do you think the next big step is, Megan? I mean, you mentioned that you're very early stage on this. So what's the next milestone?
Yeah, so I'm actually getting ready to meet with a couple of professors at Tufts University. They actually came out with a scientific article that was published 4 years ago, and it's the reason that I kind of began on this journey. It's the one scientifically published article that I could find that actually showed that co-sleeping was super effective in fully remediating night terrors, and that was the case. I don't know if it works for everyone, right? Because I have been on blogs and, Facebook groups where parents say that co-sleeping doesn't necessarily work for them, but I would say the vast majority it does. So my next step is to, potentially help research with them in partnership with them. They're getting ready to do a new sleep study specifically around co-sleeping and night terrors. So that is kind of my hope in moving this thing forward.
Great. So if there's any pediatricians out there in the audience or sleep experts, Megan would love to chat with you because, as she said, she's early stage on this venture, and so she's looking for as much input as possible from experts. So reach out to Megan or reach out to me at brett@forthly.com, and I'll be happy to introduce you to Megan. Thanks, Megan.
Thanks. Bye.
Okay, so next up we have Danny. So I love national parks. I think everybody loves national parks, right? And it turns out that the national parks of the Northern Territory of Australia are particularly spectacularly beautiful. And yet many people don't know about them and don't know how to get the resources they need to visit these parks. And so this is the problem that Danny is solving. And, I always tell people that, it's important to communicate why are you exactly the right entrepreneur for this venture. And in Danny's case, Danny splits her time between Silicon Valley and Darwin, Australia. And so Danny knows a lot about the natural beauty of the Northern Territory of Australia, and she's very passionate about sharing it with others. Plus, she's got deep experience in the digital methodologies of Silicon Valley. So I think that qualifies as indicating that Danny is exactly the right entrepreneur for this venture.
Oh, thank you so much. Wow, what a lovely introduction.
Tell us more, Danny.
Sure. So I'm Danny. I'm the founder and CEO of Norther, where we make access to national parks and destinations easy. One of the lovely things about Norther is that I am able to go to these places and share the experience. And you'll see right here, the national park that started it all was Litchfield National Park. So Litchfield National Park is an hour away from my hometown, Darwin, and you'll see Darwin in the star at the top of Australia. The journey began when I became a travel blogger in 2013, and I learned tips and tricks of the trade of how to do affiliate marketing and accommodation and all those types of things as a travel blogger. And then I pivoted that towards national parks and unique destinations in my backyard. Now, that turned out to be a really great thing because often what happens in the governmental process, things can be quite slow. And so we pivoted to making access for national parks and destinations one-spot shop. So you can imagine that what this is it's more like an Expedia for national parks. So if you go to norther.com.au, you're able to see some of our 10 national parks and 4 unique destinations, and all the information is in one spot. There's over 561 national parks in Australia and 4,000 in the world. So this area is ripe for the picking. We also found while we're doing this investigation, oh gosh, I think my slide has.
I was just gonna jump in and say, Danny, your slides aren't advancing.
Oh gosh, what happened?
No problem. No problem.
Let me reset.
Yeah, maybe so unshare and then reshare, and we'll see whether that.
Okay,
that
yeah,
fixes it.
I'll unshare.
Yeah. And meanwhile, a member of the audience asked about connecting with Megan, so I just indicated in chat to send me an email, brett@fourthly.com, and I'd be happy to connect Lester with Megan and anybody else. Okay, Danny, let's try sharing those.
Let's share again.
Yeah, let's give it a try. It wouldn't be a good live broadcast if there wasn't at least one good technical glitch.
All right, let me just double check that this works.
Okay,
Yeah,
hang on.
it works with you guys. There you go.
Great.
So I hope that you can see here that the problem we're trying to solve is accessing national parks and unique destinations all in the one spot. Often it can be piecemealing through blogs and governmental websites to go and travel to a national park. We're trying to streamline that process. And one of the things that we found with streamlining this process is that women are very interested in adventure travel and adventure travel in a safe experience. So our user persona that you'll see here is Kelsey, and she has been the backbone of what we've been developing Norther for, because we found that this is the person, our audience for Norther, which is very exciting because I'm a female traveler and I also like to have access to safe places and safe information. And that's what we're trying to do. The other thing is that we currently have 10 destinations that we have digital properties for through Instagram, Facebook, and directing through to our website in all of these places in the Northern Territory and 4 unique destinations. One of the things that we're incredibly excited about is that we have a daily audience across all our digital properties of 72,000 folks, and then 26,000 in our pilot program for Litchfield National Park of a daily audience. So we know what we're doing is working, and it's very exciting. We get great feedback. The potential is unlimited for this. One of the areas that we're very focused on right now is affiliate marketing, and we're starting to move into merchandising. We've had great success with influencing. People come to the national park, they want to be shouted out. It's something that just comes naturally with this process. We're moving in towards marketing and advertising, e-commerce, government funding, and other different income stream areas. The potential is totally unlimited. And we're actually really open to working with people who would like to journey along with us. So one of our touchstones is we're a mission and values driven company. And as I mentioned, we like to work with folks who want to help keep women traveling safe. So if that's in your wheel of expertise, we would love to talk to you. Or if you are interested in helping keep national parks as people only leaving footprints, that's also something we're very interested. We're also a private company, and so we don't have influence from governmental organizations. So one of the great advantages of working with us is that we can pivot quite quickly, and we're really open to doing that. We have an excellent team who it's a female founded company by myself, and we work tirelessly to create this exciting content for folks who jump onto the Norther bandwagon. So if you are interested in joining us and making national parks and destinations easy to get to, we would love to chat with you. Please email me, danny@norther.com.au. We also have a collab page on norther.com.au where you can see all our digital properties. So come join the ride.
Thank you, Danny. That's awesome. So, Danny, how long is the flight from Silicon Valley to Darwin?
Oh gosh, 2 to 3 flights depending, and so flying itself is a minimum of 24 hours.
So is the routing typically San Francisco to Sydney, or what's the routing?
No, COVID kind of put all that to rest. The most ideal routing is San Francisco to Brisbane, Brisbane to Darwin, Or I used to go
Brisbane,
San Francisco to Manila and then Manila to Darwin, but now you go SF to LA, LA to Brisbane or Sydney, Sydney to Darwin.
Nice. So, any plans to bring this to the U.S. national parks?
Yeah, I think this would be an exciting area of opportunity. One of the areas of opportunity and growth could be consulting with national parks and destinations in the US.
Sure.
I haven't jumped on board and seen, I know that parks like Yellowstone and Yosemite do an excellent job, but the more unheard of are the ones that are really ripe for the taking. So that's something that's a real opportunity. And especially as the influencer age grows and people want to take photos in unique pioneering destinations, this is a real opportunity.
Right. Yeah, my wife and I have a goal to try to visit as many of the U.S. national parks as we can. And as you said, that everybody thinks of, Yosemite and Yellowstone, but there's a whole bunch of other national parks out there that are pretty awesome and relatively undiscovered. So
oh my gosh,
bringing those.
Thank you.
All right, Danny, thank you very much. That was perfect. Appreciate it. All right, so next up is Karina. So, hey, Karina. So I do a lecture at Stanford on the habits of high achievers. And one of the things that high achievers are great at, obviously, is setting the right goals for themselves and then meeting those goals. Sounds simple, right? But we all know we all know that it can be hard. Setting the right goals and meeting them is difficult. And so Karina is working on solving one of the most important problems of all, which is helping all of us to get better at meeting our goals. So Karina, tell us how you're doing it.
Yeah, thank you for the introduction, Brett, and hi everyone. And my name is Karina. I'm a co-founder of GoalMate, a science-based platform which helps you to achieve your goals. I was struggling with my personal goals, and also I've seen how my friends, colleagues, and people around fail to achieve theirs. And I was studying and living in 3 different countries, so that's really a global thing. So I turned into statistics and found out that only 8% of people actually achieve their New Year's resolution. Also, the last 3 years of 10 of my marketing experience, I was working in education technology for adults, and half ill to the end of the course is considered good. So people buy courses, buy gym memberships, want to lose weight, earn more, begin to learn Spanish and write a book, but never finish. And looking deep into this problem, there are 2 things. First, people fail to succeed due to the lack of support, motivation, and a clear plan, or they even set the wrong goals and don't live the life they want. So to change that, we create a platform based on the behavioral psychology, neuroscience, and coaching. When I started online project in pandemic, I found out in practice that first, it's not easy to find somebody in your inner circle who has similar goal. And second, that actually goal partner really helps to achieve goals faster, easier, and more efficiently. And researchers have confirmed that if you have a commitment with someone and report back to them, the chance to success goes up to 68%, which is incredible. So how GoalMate works? First, we encourage people to set goals in different areas like health, finance, family, etc., to cover more of our users' life and to make it more balanced. Then Smart AI helps you to identify your real goals. This is an essential process which is missed of most of other apps, because if the goal set wrong, none of the support or motivation actually will help. Then personalized match with the goal partner for support, motivation, and brainstorming. And that's our secret sauce, because it's not just about accountability, that's about synergy. If you help another person to achieve a similar goal, it will quickly lead to yours. And the last, track your progress, use challenges and reward system. So of course, there are plenty of other productivity apps, but we focus on a joint goal achievement on Smart Match, and put a lot of attention to the goal setting process and implement gamification, which will help to keep on track. The market of productivity apps is huge and keep growing about 10% per year. So that's just the right moment to go into it. And as a revenue stream, we choose a freemium model with a paid subscription of $15 per month, and also considering advertising and educational collaborations with platforms like Coursera, Mindvalley, etc. So, and I want to tell a few words about my team. I have a master's degree in marketing. My co-founder and CTO is a very smart IT guy with a lot of experience in app development. We have UX designer, international coach, and psychologist as a product advisors. So if you like our product, if you're interested in investing on it, or you have any questions, please contact me and I will provide more information and give you free access to the beta. Thank you.
Nice, Karina. So I'm super excited about this because, as I said, I like most people have been frustrated sometimes in my life about setting goals and not achieving them. And in getting to know you and the research that you've done, I was really struck by this statistic that people who set a goal, they only achieve it 10 or 15% of the time. If they set a goal and actually create a clear plan on how they're going to achieve it, then that goes up to 45 or 50%.
Yeah.
But if they do that, plus they get an accountability partner to kind of hold them accountable to you achieving those goals, it goes all the way up to 68%. I mean, that's really pretty remarkable. And it just shows the power of the notion of choosing the right goal, having a clear plan, and having an accountability partner to help get you
the right person to go into it.
And so the fact that you've wrapped all that up into an AI powered app, I think is really very exciting. So what languages this is available in at first, Karina?
First, well, now we are testing it in the US market, in the English-speaking market, US, Canada, UK, Australia.
Okay.
I think the next step will be a Spanish-speaking market because that's huge. That's whole Latin America, Spain, and after we will add more languages.
Yeah. No, I think that's right. I mean, no offense to all the other languages, but if you get English and Spanish, that's a pretty big market between the two. So, Karina, last question: what's the next big milestone for you and Goldmate?
Well, we made a beta, which is now a bot, and now we, with my team, working on creating the first actually app prototype. So that's the next step, and got investment, raise funds, attract users, and became big and powerful, and make the real impact.
Big and powerful, and make a real impact on the world. All right. Well, thanks, Karina. We're all rooting for you. Thanks very much. Okay. Last and certainly not least is Reza. Morning, Reza.
Good morning. How are you, Brett?
I'm good. So tell us where you are today.
Well, so I have to say hi to everyone here. This is Reza Ismaili. I'm the founder and CEO of CrowdX. It is AI-powered platform for real estate development projects. So I have been a realtor, investor, and land developer. Go ahead.
Reza, hang on one second, because I wanted to just say a couple things in introducing you.
Absolutely.
So here's the thing: is that crowdfunding has turned out to be one of the most successful use cases on the internet, right? That we all know Kickstarter and Indiegogo. Many of us have sponsored Kickstarter campaigns, and the whole crowdfunding thing I think is fascinating, and there are many, many successful use cases of this. And then ventures like CrowdStreet and Fundrise have brought this crowdfunding concept to real estate. And now Reza, who's a very successful real estate developer in Toronto, is bringing this concept to a very, very specific vertical, and that's land development projects. And Reza, now that I introduced you, take it away.
Absolutely. Thank you, Brett. When it comes to land development, it's about the people, the project, and money. So connecting all these together would be the secret of success. So I have been a realtor. I've been an investor and land developer in Toronto myself. I've had the skin in the game in the last 15, 17 years and have developed more than 1,000 units and returned millions of dollars to my investors. When we talk about the opportunity, everybody knows that one of the main challenges in any nation is the shortage of housing. We need 1.5 million new homes by 2030, only in Ontario. And in the US, there is a shortage of 5 million homes as we speak. However, 55,000 real estate developers and more than 13 million accredited investors play a very important role to fill the gap between the supply and demand in the United States. However, the efficiency of connection between real estate developers and accredited investors is limited. Developers often source funding through traditional channels such as banks and private equity firms. As a result, many promising real estate projects are left unrealized and investors miss out on potentially lucrative opportunities. So the solution, CrowdX solves the problem by connecting developers with a large pool of individual investors. With its AI engine, makes the process very efficient and more personalized. Why land development? Why real estate development? Well, real estate crowdfunding is now estimated to be $11 billion market. Unlike other real estate crowdfunding platforms such as CrowdStreet and Fundrise, we focus on the niche market of real estate development. And the return to the investors is based not only on the real estate appreciation, but also on the value addition throughout the development process. The developer looking for equity investors submits the application. CrowdX verifies the highest and best use of the site and the feasibility of the project. The developer then lists the project on the platform for investors to partner up. The revenue streams, well, the platform generates multiple sources of revenue streams such as acquisition fees, intermediation fees, due diligence fees, and can potentially generate other sources of revenue from development and property management, investment advisory, and consultant endorsement fees. The platform is currently in development, being released in the second quarter of 2023. Initial listings will be the projects from Land Services Group. I'm the founder and CEO of this company. And the investors will be sourced by a team of more than 30 real estate agents who have extensive existing investors. And these agents are exclusively working for Land Services Group. As for the team, CrowdX benefits from strategic partnership with diverse group of real estate experts. And me as the founder and CEO, I have a strong track record in real estate development with numerous low-rise, mid-rise, and high-rise projects in Greater Toronto area. The rollout strategy. So after the initial period in Toronto and hopefully in late 2023, the platform will be opened up to land developers and investors across Canada, and we plan to add the US market in early 2024. CrowdX is being formed as a Delaware C Corp. We are raising a seed round of financing of $750K now and intend to raise a larger Series A in mid-2024. Thank you very much for the opportunity, and I'm here for your questions, if any.
Nice, Reza. So, as I said at the intro, I'm super excited about what you're doing because capital efficiency matters, right? That the efficiency with which capital can be invested into a project and then returned to investors, that loop, getting that loop efficient is a key part of the economy in general, and certainly of anything related to real estate development. And so I think it's pretty exciting the fact that what you're building is basically a platform that that lowers the friction by which capital can be invested in these projects and then return to investors. So Sama asks a pretty good question, which is about the AI integration. So give us an example, Reza, of the way in which AI comes into play with the Crowdex platform.
Absolutely. So when it comes to land development, Brett, you have to do market research. You have to do real estate studies. You have to do a lot of due diligence studies, legal, technical, and financial, to ensure that the site is, first of all, is developable, secondly, feasible. So we have to sort out a lot of data and information, and spend thousands of hours, and a lot of people are going to be involved to ensure that the site is good for development. So AI is going to, first of all, do the market research to specify the locations that are good for development in terms of the population, economy, and so on and so forth. And also the technical aspects of the site itself and the due diligence material that are done by professional consultants are going to be reviewed by the AI and verified. So at the end of the day, the investors, they want to make sure that the investment is safe. It is going to be invested in the right project. So we have to make sure that we are providing them with the details.
So the answer is things like the due diligence process are things that can be made much more efficient through an AI engine.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Right. And then Pani asks a question about investment size. And I think to start with, you're going to be focusing on accredited investors. Is that right, Reza?
That's correct. So when it comes to, projects, accredited investors are going to invest, and normally they invest with $25,000. But in the next milestone, based on the compliance and the regulations of the region we are going to expand into, we are going to also add other type, let's say, public investors as well, in addition to the accredited investors.
Right. Terrific. Reza, thanks very much. Appreciate it. And stay warm up there in Toronto.
All right. Have a good one.
Thanks. All right. Guys, team, world, thank you so much for joining us this morning. That was a lot of fun. So here's the thing, is that the World Economic Forum says we're now in the fourth industrial revolution. And it's one of the most profound times in human history in terms of the innovation that's going on, the merging of the digital, the biological, and the cognitive. And there's tremendous opportunity kind of all over the world associated with this. And I'm fond of noting that during my Silicon Valley career, there was kind of one opportunity wave at a time. There was the semiconductor wave, and then there was the personal computer wave, and then there was the internet wave, and then there was the mobile social wave. And each one of those was, 10 or 15 years worth of opportunity. And what makes right now the fourth industrial revolution different from any of these previous eras, I think, is the fact that it's happening all over the world. It's not happening in one place. And there's multiple waves of opportunity, right? It's not just one thing. It's AI and machine learning. It's biotechnology. It's autonomous driving. It's fintech. There are all these incredible billion-dollar waves of opportunity happening right now all over the world. And I think that our presenters today illustrated that. So thanks again for joining us. You can find out more about Fourthly at fourthly.com. And there you can also view more information about each of the presenters today. You can see their websites. You can read a little Medium post about each of them. And if I can help with an introduction of any kind, just send me an email at brett@fourthly.com, and I'd be happy to introduce you. Thanks so much, everybody. Have a great day.